So here is the absolute fatal misconception about enterprise AI right now in 2026. People think the primary expense is just building the model. Actually, scratch that, it's not even close. That initial build, it's literally just the entry fee. The true cost of enterprise AI is a permanent, escalating operational liability. In this explainer, we're going to dive right into the source material to confront the hidden financial friction points that are systematically sabotaging enterprise rollouts. The data presents a pretty stark reality for us here. Look, AI is aggressively marketed as this magic bullet, right? A direct path to cutting costs and boosting efficiency. But organizations are quickly waking up to the fact that the real expense begins after development, not before. True AI costs actually hits you when you're scaling, integrating, and maintaining the whole system. Without careful planning and precise architectural gates, these initiatives stall out. They bleed money, and they completely fail to deliver a meaningful return on investment. And here is where the very first structural failure in budget planning happens. Get this. Before a single line of training code is even executed, 30 to 50% of the total AI budget is entirely eaten up by data readiness. Up to half? Why? Well, most organizations start with incredibly fragmented, inconsistent data. Sourcing, cleaning, standardizing, labeling, and then actually securing that data creates a massive, highly underestimated financial drain right from day one.
Okay, let's move right into part one, our deep dive, analytical postmortem into these core financial pillars.
When we map out this capital drain, the distribution is frankly pretty eye-opening. Just like we mentioned, data preparation demands the absolute largest upfront allocation, sitting right there at 40%. Then ongoing maintenance wedges a permanent 25% recurring cut into your operational budget. The actual model and infrastructure, that just consumes the remaining 35%. You are essentially looking at a massive system shaped by everything that supports the model rather than the model itself. Now, breaking down these actual financial ranges reveals the true barrier to entry. While things like data preparation and infrastructure can rapidly scale well past the $100,000 mark, the real hidden traps are lurking elsewhere. Highly specialized talent and custom model development require massive capital outlays. And then you have to actually integrate these systems into your existing workflows. That process, combined with strict compliance audits, systematically inflates your overall budget by an additional 10 to 20%. And maintenance, as we'll see, that takes a 15 to 30% recurring cut of the original build cost every single year. Let's talk about the monthly infrastructure burden, because it is relentless. AI systems obviously depend on highly scalable computing resources. Sure, entry-level testing is somewhat modest, but production systems, they introduce continuous inference costs. As your user request volumes scale up and you're handling real-time data transfers, these production deployments consistently drain anywhere from $10,000 to $50,000 or even more every single month. You also can't maintain these beasts without highly specialized talent, and the acquisition trap here is fierce. These roles are scarce and incredibly expensive. We're talking machine learning engineers, data engineers, MLOps specialists. They command base salaries strictly ranging between $120,000 up to $180,000 a year. And to put that into perspective, that explicitly excludes benefits. Plus, internal oversight for quality and security is just a mandatory, non-negotiable expense on top of that. You have to remember, AI delivers exactly zero value until it's embedded into real corporate workflows. Connecting AI to your CRM or ERP platforms and completely redesigning your underlying business processes, it requires some serious heavy lifting. Furthermore, regulatory compliance, data privacy controls, and ongoing ethical audits, they don't just disappear, they expand. This compliance overhead systematically inflates the overall budget by that additional 10 to 20% we talked about, and it persists throughout the system's entire life cycle.
Moving on to part two, the hidden friction and structural factors.
The financial leap between project tiers is honestly pretty violent. For small-scale, rule-based automation projects, you're sitting comfortably between $10,000 and $50,000. Mid-sized deployments that need natural language processing, that jumps up to between $100,000 and $500,000. But mission-critical, enterprise-grade AI solutions, we're talking deep learning platforms with high-performance computing and strict compliance, those demand a minimum $1 million strategic investment. $1 million just to get in the game. And this brings us to the crucial point of this explainer, the permanent structural friction of maintenance liability. Models are not static, they drift. Changes in user behavior, market conditions, or shifting data quality all cause performance to degrade over time. Retraining the model, tuning the infrastructure, and applying security updates frequently eclipses the initial build cost over the system's lifetime. Think about that.
You are paying 15 to 30% of the original build cost every single year just to keep the system functional and accurate.
So, based on the source data, organizations face a systemic choice. Do you build internally, or do you outsource? In-house development requires massive upfront capital, slow onboarding, and absorbing all those $120,000 plus salaries we mentioned. But it does grant you total architectural control. On the flip side, external providers guarantee much faster deployment and shared maintenance. The catch? They introduce escalating recurring subscription fees and a notoriously high, persistent risk of vendor lock-in.
Let's wrap this up with Part 3, the tactical action plan and system gates.
According to the source material, here is the chronological framework you need to actually survive an enterprise AI deployment. Step 1. Start small with a highly constrained proof of concept. Don't boil the ocean. Step 2. Utilize existing AI tools and frameworks instead of building everything from scratch. Step 3. Design the architecture in modular, flexible pieces to maintain clear exit options. Step 4. Execute in short, adjustable cycles to prevent massive late-stage failures. And finally, Step 5. Surgically outsource narrow, labor-intensive tasks like data labeling. This gradual scaling is literally the only method to effectively control long-term budgets.
Ultimately, the real question isn't whether AI costs money. We know it absolutely does. The question we have to ask is your business operationally and structurally prepared to manage permanent, escalating operational overhead? AI greatly rewards strict architectural discipline, but without it, that financial bleed is going to be continuous. So, what is your organization's next move?